All right, guys, live stream should be starting up. I guess I realized I had it set for 6:50, but we'll start a little bit earlier. I just realized that. Let's talk about some NFL football here. We got a nice island game here with Thursday night. Sorry, I'm looking at my phone for NBA stuff. But let's do it. What's up, Cam? Again, we'll start a little bit early. I'll tweet out that I am live. Give me 1 second. Maybe I'll get out here a few minutes early. But we got to go over some news here for NFL. So the big news that we got is what a headache slate. Yeah, it is kind of a headache slate, to be honest. But the news we have is originally Keenan Allen and Mike Williams were not going to play. Now they will play, but both will be on a rep count. So, and we don't really know what that rep count is. It makes it a tricky slate for sure. You real G, thanks, man. So, we'll go over this. But first, before we get into players and their prices, let's take a look at what we got for Vegas odds. So this is on the higher end. As far as over-unders go, it's a 53.5. Raiders are 3-point favorites. So there should be some points scored in this one. Neither defense is great either. Zay Jones, value play. Yeah, it's Zay Jones, Bryan Edwards. Like, those guys should fill in for the number 3 wide receiver with no Ruggs. But let's take a look at the snaps for each of these teams in the most recent game if you guys did not catch the video yesterday or 2 days ago. So Eckler played 60% of the snaps. Balaj, Justin Jackson got mixed in a bit. Balaj 32%, Jackson 15%. That was Justin Jackson's first game back from injury, though. So I expect the minutes will probably go up for him, or the snaps minutes, still in NBA. The snaps go up for him a bit with maybe the snaps going down for Balaj. Both those backup running backs are in play. Both are good pass-catching running backs. Yeah, basketball question, DFS or Anthony Edwards? That's basically coin flip. I expect a few more minutes from DFS, but I expect Anthony Edwards to be a little bit more productive with his minutes. I think I go DFS there, but it's really, really close. Wide receivers for the Chargers. So this is tough, right? Because Keenan Allen, Mike Williams are playing, but they're both on a snap count. How much do I expect from them? I would say a fair guess is probably 50-ish, 50 to 60% of the snaps, but we don't have anything definitive there, so a little bit tricky. I do expect Guyton to still play a good amount. I expect 80-ish% of the snaps. Ty Johnson, he should probably get somewhere in this 60-ish% range. KJ Hill will probably play a little, but with both Mike Williams and Keenan Allen playing, he is a lot riskier. So that's kind of the thoughts there with the wide receivers. With tight end, well, with Keenan Allen and with Mike Williams being kind of limited, I think Hunter Henry is a pretty safe option in the mid-range. He should play a good amount of the game. He's a guy that should get a good amount of targets. We know the Chargers like throwing the ball. So Hunter Henry, I like in the mid-range. Running backs to the Raiders, well, it was Jacobs' first game back from an ankle injury. He only played 43% of the snaps. Richard and Devontae Booker got mixed in a bit too for about a third of the game each. I expect the snaps to go up for Jacobs, down for Richard, down for Booker, but by how much is the question. Both Booker and Richard are decent pass-catching backs, so I expect those guys they're still viable cheap plays. At wide receiver, so Ruggs, again, he is out for this game. He played 60% of the snaps. I expect Aguilar's snaps to go up, probably maybe in the 80% range. He's been their best receiver this year. Renfro, his role is not going to change. He's still going to play out of the slot, probably 50 to 60% of the snaps. The guys that get the boost are Edwards and Zay Jones. They've been playing, about 25% of the snaps with Ruggs playing. With Ruggs out, I would say probably 40 to 50% for both of them as far as snap counts go. So both Edwards and Jones, viable punt plays for this slate. And finally, tight end. We know Waller. He's going to play basically the entire game. They will use two tight ends a decent amount with Foster Moreau, Jason Witten, but they're nothing more than dart throws. And yeah, that's kind of what we got for news. Again, the Allen, Mike Williams stuff does make it a little bit tricky. DK, this Curry news. Yep, I retweeted that. So I'm off Curry for NBA with that news. Don't know if he plays in the second half. So I would not play Steph Curry for NBA. Eckler's going to explode. Yeah, so let's start with the players at the top. So Justin Herbert at 11.8K. I think is a pretty safe option. I know he's only had 6 and 16 fantasy points in back-to-back games, but 53, 44, 52, 49 pass attempts. They are still throwing the ball a ton. The matchup is pretty solid here against the Raiders as well. So, yeah, I think Justin Herbert is a safe option. Probably now with Allen news, I think you can look to him for cash. And I really like Eckler for cash. And then probably one of those top Raiders, whether you go Carr, Waller, or Josh Jacobs. But yeah, it's just, again, the volume with Herbert, the fact that they're throwing the ball a ton. So Herbert, I think, is a safe option. Is he a must-play for GPPs? No. You can definitely fade him, right? There's still high-volume guys here, but let's talk about Keenan Allen now. So the ownership will be lower on Keenan Allen. They said he's on a snap count. We don't know exactly how much that is. He's still a guy that should get a good amount of targets when he's out there. But again, how long is he out there? That's a question mark. We don't know. So Keenan Allen is riskier now. I probably wouldn't play him in a cash game setting, but definitely still in play for GPPs. The ownership should drop on him. Austin Eckler, I think at the moment, is my favorite play of the slate. The play that I feel the safest with, just because the volume is there with him. He's their lead back. I expect 60 to 70% of the snaps. He'll get carries. He'll get a bunch of targets. He's a great pass-catching running back, and the matchup is good as well. So Austin Eckler is probably my favorite play. He's going to be very popular, but I think for cash games, you probably play Austin Eckler. Let's see. Derek Carr's at 10K. Yeah, I don't think either quarterback are a must on the slate. I do feel a little bit better with Herbert than Derek Carr, because with Derek Carr and the Raiders are a run-first team, and if they are playing from ahead, they do rely on the ground game a bit more. Now, last couple games, the game against the Colts, they fell behind, so they had to air it out. But we've seen games of like 24, 23, 25 pass attempts when they're playing from ahead. So, you kind of do need, I guess, the negative game script. If they do get off to an early lead, I think they rely on the ground game a little bit more. So I think he is, but for cash games, definitely one of the safer options, just because, again, quarterbacks do have the highest floor in these showdown slates. Derek Carr, I think, is a decent option there. I don't necessarily think he's a must-play, but definitely viable and again, a safe option. Not a must-play for GPPs either. Waller at 9.4, I like his upside. I think he is going to be pretty popular tonight, just because he's a guy that gets a ton of targets. 7, 17, and 10. He's a guy that has enormous upside. We've seen it. So yeah, Waller is someone that I do like a good amount. I think he's going to be popular, but love his upside here. He'll play the entire game. He gets targeted in the red zone. The matchup's good to it. It's good on both sides. There should be a good amount of points scored in this one. So I do like Darren Waller a good amount there at 9.4. With Josh Jacobs at 8.8K, I think he goes a little lower owned just because of what we saw the last game, right? They utilized 3 backs. I do expect the snaps to go up, but by how much is a little bit more in question. Now, he was a little bit more involved in the passing game too, with 5 and 3 targets in back-to-back games. That does make him, more appealing. But for me, I think for safety, I feel better about Eckler for a little bit more, just because Eckler, I think, gets more snaps. Eckler's more involved in the passing game. Now, you can definitely play both running backs. You can play Eckler. You can play Josh Jacobs. If you don't feel amazing about the quarterbacks, the upside is there on both these backs. I just think Josh Jacobs does carry some risk with the fact that he only played about 40% of the snaps in that most recent game. Thoughts on Bagley? Yeah, so Bagley, we got news. Increased minutes by how much, though, is in question. So it's a tough call there. I think Bagley we get 20 to 25 minutes from. And sorry if I'm checking my phone. I just want to make sure that I miss anything here. Yeah, again, if you guys are asking for Steph for NBA, I'd probably fade him at this point. I'm not confident with the minutes based off what we saw or what we heard from the beat writers. But okay, back to NFL. So just went over Waller and Jacobs. Now, Aguilar at 7.4 is a nice play in the mid-range just because there's no Ruggs. He's been the most consistent receiver. The one issue with Aguilar is he struggles with drop balls, but 9, 6, 11, and 9 targets. I think he's a nice play in the mid-range. I don't know if he's going to be super, super popular, but I think Aguilar is a good play in that range. What Mike Williams, I'll say the same thing about Keenan Allen, right? A riskier option tonight because of the rep count. We don't know what the rep count is. Mike Williams in general is more of a boomer bust guy, so I don't think I go to him in cash games, but for a GPP setting, he still possesses upside, right? He can catch like a 50-yard bomb for a touchdown, and then you're there. So, yes, Williams still in play for GPPs. I would not go there for cash games. Other options in the slate, yeah, Hunter Henry I think is one of the safer options with Allen being limited, with Mike Williams being limited. Hunter Henry basically plays the entire game already. The targets are usually, he's averaging 7-8 targets a game. He's probably not going to break the slate, but I do think he's safe. He's definitely a guy that can look to the red zone as well. So Hunter Henry, a safe option. I think can play in both formats. Again, no Ruggs. So we'll talk about some cheap Raiders receivers here in a sec. Real quick though, guys, I'll ask if you enjoy this content to hit that like button. Let's try and aim for 70 likes on this live stream. We're over 200 viewers. Thank you. And if you were in the NBA stream earlier, I appreciate you guys coming back and continuing to support the channel. All right, other options here for now cheaper guys. So Ty Johnson at 5K. If we go to that last game, he played 74% of snaps, but I expect those to go down with Allen and Mike Williams playing. I think a fair guess for his snaps is probably about half the game. Again, Guyton's been playing majority of the game no matter what, so I expect him to be out there a lot. With Allen, with Mike Williams, how much do they play? Again, it's a little more in question, but I don't think Ty Johnson plays 74%. I would say about half the game at 5K. It feels a little pricey. I'm not saying he's out of play, but I think more of a contrarian option. Renfrow at 4.8. I think he's a good play in the slot. He'll play about 50% of the snaps. Now, the thing is, he might be a little bit over-owned because people will say, oh, Henry Ruggs is out. Big boost to Renfrow. No, it doesn't affect Hunter Renfrow at all. He still plays out of the slot. Like, he's not going to line up out wide, right? That's going to be Zay Jones. That's going to be Brian Edwards that fill in for that role. So don't expect, Hunter Renfrow to get a huge boost. But I think he is still a good play because 9, 6, 7 targets, 4.8 is a fair price. I think about half the game. So, yeah, I think Renfrow definitely is viable here. Bogdan or Gay, that's really close. I'm personally actually playing both now with the news of the Spurs starters getting extended. I do like Rudy Gay quite a bit. I'm also playing Bogdan. Okay, back to other options here. So kickers now. Both kickers are in play. It's a higher scoring game. I don't have a strong take on which one I prefer. We've seen upside games from kickers. We saw, I think, one game earlier this year where a kicker and the captain won it. So don't avoid the kickers. Like, they are still in play for value. They're safe value options. Kickers, both viable. The defenses with the Raiders and the Chargers, well, I only play one lineup, so I'm not prioritizing either in a game that's projected to be a little bit higher scoring, and neither defense is great. But if you're mass multi-entering, I would probably have, 5 to 10% of the defenses. So I think that's a fair percentage. You probably need like a defense or a couple picks or like a pick 6 to really get there with this projected to be a higher scoring game. But yeah, defense is not out of play. I think just more contrarian options. Renfrow or Brian Edwards? Renfrow. I feel bad about Renfrow than I do Brian Edwards. All right, Guyton at 2.8K. I think he's a pretty safe option. Targets, not been great, 4.73, but he's the guy that has been playing consistently no matter what. So I don't think his role changes a ton with Allen and Mike Williams being available. I expect, 70, 80% of the snaps are Guyton. I think, hasn't been great, but at 2.8K, I think he is for sure in play for value. And then we get the backup running backs on both teams. Oh, is Justin Jack, did he get ruled out? Won't suit up. Okay. That must have just came out or I just missed it. But so this actually does change some things with Jackson sidelined. They're going to put Josh Kelly as the third running back. So I actually feel a little bit more comfortable now with Balaj at 2.4K. I think he's a pretty nice value. How many carries does Josh Kelly get? Well, let's see. I think Kelly was active in week 13. Let's see how many snaps he got. I don't think a ton. He played 4%. If we go back to week 12, how many did Josh Kelly get? He got 23, but that was when Balaj was out. So don't expect Kelly to play a ton. I think Balaj is actually a pretty nice value option here. He's shown he's a good pass-catching running back. I like him a good amount here at 2.4K. Again, you have Balaj, you have Guyton, definitely viable. And then the back running backs, the Raiders with Booker and Rashard, also in play. Both are decent pass-catching backs. They got decent run last game. I expect the snaps to go down a little bit. If you made me pick between Booker and Rashard, I would give that edge to Rashard. He's their better PPR, their better pass-catching back, but it's close there. Foster Moreau, backup or third string tight end. Again, he's averaging about a target or two a game. Viable, but more of a dart throw. Josh Kelly, again, $600. He'll be their number 3 running back, but I don't expect a ton from him. So not, again, dart throw, maybe 10% of snaps. Now, Zay Jones and Brian Edwards, this is where I think you can take a shot here because these guys should fill in out wide with Ruggs out. I don't know if one's going to play way more than the other. I think both get mixed in a bit. Again, I think 40 to 50% of snaps is a fair assumption. Zay Jones, Edwards, again, they haven't really done a ton this year, but $400 and $800, these guys don't need a ton to pay off their salary. So I do like them for value plays if you need someone super, super cheap. And then Parm, the XFL legend, he actually does get some targets here and there, but he won't play a ton. Nothing more than a dart throw. Same thing with Jason Witten, right? He'll play, maybe get a target or two, but I prefer those other value plays we won over. KJ Hill, I mean, maybe 10 to 20% of snaps. He's a speedster, but it's hard to feel really confident with that. Guyton has big play upside. Balaj. Yeah, with Guyton versus Balaj, that's really close. I think they're both good plays. That's a tough one. But, all right, that's it for the player-by-player breakdown. Let's talk about cash. So for cash, originally, I liked Keenan Allen a good amount, but I'm not as excited now. I think the guys I'm looking to are probably both quarterbacks and Eckler. You don't have to do it, but I would probably – there's enough value where I think it's setting up for that stars and scrubs build. So I kind of like getting to both quarterbacks and Austin Eckler, and you don't have to. If you don't want to play Derek Carr, you can go to Waller or Jacobs. But I think Herbert, Eckler, and then probably one of those Raiders guys are where I would go for cash games, and I would probably try to get to one of those guys in captain. For GPPs, we know, again, 70, 75% of the time, the winning lineup has either a running back or wide receiver in it. So for GPPs, well, again, I think a safe option is Eckler. I think a safe option is Waller. Riskier guys, well, Allen and Mike Williams, they still have upside, but a lot riskier with them being on a snap count. Aguilar's been their best receiver, does struggle with drops, but at 7.4, I think that's a fair price for him if you want to take a shot on him for captain. Don't hate Renfro, but does he have huge upside? I don't know, and I'm really shooting for that big play upside in the captain spot. And then I think you can, this is a super, super risky approach. Not something I would do for like a high dollar tournament, but if you wanted to get different in like the Millie Maker, try to get unique, I think you can take a shot in one of these really cheap guys. So a Guyton, right? He'll be out there a decent amount. A Keelan Balaj, I think probably gets a third of the game, maybe more. Good pass catching running back. You can look to Zay Jones or Brian Edwards and maybe hope they catch a long one. So like that is a viable build. Just say, for example, we throw Zay Jones in there, then you have basically 10K remaining. So you can plug in whoever else you want into your lineup. If you guys want to follow my lead, I'm playing, I guess, a chalkier build. I'm playing Austin Eckler in the captain. Feel good about his touches. Feel good about his involvement in the passing game. I think Austin Eckler is a very, very safe play with upside. That's where I'm going for captain on this slate. But, all right, we got about 15 minutes until lock. I'll stay on for another 10 minutes, and then I'm going to get out of here. So let me know if you guys have any questions here. I will try to get to all of them. We're almost at 300 viewers, guys. Thank you so much for this support. What do you guys see Eckler being limited? I don't see that. They said he was questionable, but is it true that Eckler is going to be on a snap count? I'm seeing it on Twitter. You are seeing that on Twitter? I could have missed it, but they said, so in this quote, quad expected to play, let's see. So what I see is Keenan Allen and Mike Williams in a snap count. Let me know if I missed something on Austin. I don't see the Austin Eckler being limited quote. It could be out there. Eckler on somewhat of a pitch count. Okay. So, what does that mean too? It's just a tricky slate. It does make Eckler a little bit more risky. I feel probably now a little bit better about Balaj too. I think Balaj is a pretty solid play. Tag you on Twitter, Roto-World, yeah. On somewhat of a pitch count. So, it's not like he was a bell cow anyway. Again, maybe make some slightly riskier, but I think that does make Balaj a pretty solid play at his current price. And what I'm deciding on, again, is Balaj versus Guyton. I had Guyton, but might go Balaj now with the fact that they might limit Eckler a bit. I don't know. I'll probably stick with Guyton, but I do like Balaj a decent amount. Old news, well, it was from Roto-World, and that was 13 minutes ago. They said Eckler on somewhat of a pitch count. I'm not super worried. Like, he's the guy I'm the least worried about, Eckler. Probably be with the $5 super chat. Well, DK, that's old news from 11:29. Okay, I did see Roto-World just tweeted that out about 10 minutes ago. But thank you for the super chat. Really, really appreciate that, man. Carr or Herbert? I would rather have Herbert. Hunter Henry for cash? Yeah, I think he's a really safe option. They said that 2 weeks ago when he played normal. I agree. Like, it's kind of hard. It's been hard to trust coach speak for the NFL. They did say they were going to limit Eckler a couple weeks ago, and he played normal snaps. So I'm not super worried about Eckler. Vucevic needs to step it up. I'm fine with him not doing great. I faded him. He's high owned in the slam. So I'm okay with him having a mediocre game. Any interest in Rashard? Yes, he's a little bit riskier. I probably feel better about Guyton and Balaj at a similar price, or even maybe one of those cheap Raiders wide receivers. Is Waller a lock? Not necessarily, but gotta like his upside. Do you think it might be old news that they were only seeing one? I mean, yeah, I don't know. Again, I'm not super worried about the Eckler. Either way. How does this look, DK? Captain Herbert, Eckler, Jacobs, Henry, Renfrow, and Balaj. I like it. Jacobs or Waller? Depends, I guess, how you think the game flows. Raiders are 3-point favorites. If you think they got off to an early lead, I think Jacobs is definitely someone that would look better because, again, they're a run-first team when they're playing from ahead. If you think the Chargers get off to an early lead, then I think you probably want to look to Waller. So that one's close. It is. Jacobs or Waller in cash, I don't have a super strong take there. Go with what you think happens with the game. I faded Vooch for Cat. I did as well. Do you like kickers? I think the kickers are fine. They're safer options. Yeah, I'm perfectly fine if you land on either kicker. How does this look? Captain Eckler, Herbert, Guyton, Henry, Jacobs, and Renfrow. I think it looks pretty good. Tricky slate. It is. It's definitely a tricky slate. One that I would be like, I'm not playing. I never play a ton in these showdown sites anyway, but this is one where I'd like pump the brakes even more, just with all the news on the Chargers side. Renfrow, Hunter Henry. It's Hunter Henry for me there. Eckler, Waller, Allen, Jacobs, Parm, and Renfrow. What do you think? It's risky. Like, Parm's not going to play a ton. They will look to him in the red zone when he plays. How many snaps did he play that last game? He played 19% of the snaps. So it's a super low owned play, but they do have like they will run fades for him near the red zone. How does this look, DK? Captain Eckler with flex, Herbert, Carr, Waller, Guyton, and Edwards. I like that a lot. Yo, I'm back. What's up, man? Good to see you. Hunter Renfrow or Hunter Henry? I feel a little bit better about Henry. Do you like the kickers? Yes. The kickers are fine. I'm never really excited about the kickers because it kind of just depends on what happens in the game. But we've seen some upside games from kickers. Do not ignore them. What do I do with Steph Curry? Switch him out? I would. I'm not confident he plays in the second half. DK just retweeted you something about Allen. Let's see. Take this for what it's worth. Keenan Allen just yelled in the camera during pregame, "Don't sit me." Okay. Again, Keenan Allen is not out of play. He will be a little bit lower owned now. We just don't know what the snap count is. We don't. So it's a tricky slate. What's your core? I don't really give core in showdowns because there's only 6 players. So I think for cash games, I think Eckler and both quarterbacks is probably the safe way to go. Herbert or Allen in flex, and check Yates' tweet. Depends what you think. If you think Allen gets normal snaps, then I do prefer Keenan Allen. I like the upside more, but what's the snap count, right? We don't know. He said, "Don't sit me." It's a tough one for sure. It's a really tricky slate, guys. I'm not going to lie. Eckler, Captain, Allen, Bagley, Aguilar, Waller, Balaj, GPP. Yep. Guyton, Balaj, or kicker. I like the upset a little bit more with either Guyton or Balaj. And again, that one is basically a coin flip for me. I am still playing Allen. Yeah, I think Keenan Allen is a nice GPP play. I don't think a ton of people get to him. Sorry if that was useless. No, it was good info. Thank you for tagging me in that, Cameron. I really appreciate that. Keenan Allen, don't sit me. Trae Young at 27%, Capella at 20%. That's pretty low ownership. I like that Capella news. Again, if we get like close to 30 minutes from Clint Capella, that is just, he's just underpriced. I want Ja. He's at like 10%. I played Ja as well, actually. Yeah, you can definitely still play Keenan Allen captain. Again, the ownership will be lower on Keenan Allen tonight. So I went with Morant. I did too. I played John Morant, hoping he gets extended a little bit more. He has been on absolute fire. So hoping he gets like over 30 minutes. Yeah, Rozier I saw is going off. Trae Young's turnover is going to be Ja steals. Hopefully, Trae Young does, at times turn over a lot. What did you say about Steph? They said they're going to play. He's going to play the whole first quarter and then 6 minutes in the second quarter, and then something like maybe he might not play in the second half. So Steph is someone I'm avoiding for the main slate. Thoughts on Captain Eckler with flex, Keenan Allen, Carr, Waller, Carlson at Edwards. So you're playing... Oh, a kicker? Yeah, that's fine. Peterman inactive. That's slate changing his thoughts on Ty Johnson. Riskier with Allen and Mike Williams playing. You like Carr. Depends on how you think the game flows. I don't think he's a must-play. Raiders are a run-first team. If they fall behind, he has upside. It's a good matchup. Captain Eckler, Herbert, Allen, Guyton, Edwards, Aguilar. I like that. On FanDuel, of course, Vucevic has a bad game when I play him. Well, it's only halftime, so there's still time. Vucevic will play the third quarter and the fourth quarter, so don't be overly worried about it. Peterman is my captain. Can't really replace Steph right now. Kind of just hope he goes off in the first quarter. I mean, for me, I think I would replace him with Fox if that was the only option. Fox should play high 20s minutes. I like that better than 15 minutes out of Steph Curry. PJ Washington is playing trash right now. Is he? Yeah, I mean, it's just that Hornets team is kind of gross. I saw it's like Rozier and Devontae Adams. Yeah, he's only got 5 and 1.5. Vooch can crush. So, like, sure, maybe had a bad first half, but he is a guy that can put up a ton of fantasy points. Griffin killed me. I didn't like a lot in those early games besides Vooch. Griffin he has not shot the ball, Blake Griffin. 3 rebounds, 2 assists. That's definitely surprising. Jones or Richard? I think Zay Jones, but that's close. Jones, Richard, or Edwards? I'll go Edwards there. Again, close. You still like Steph? No, I would get off him. Not convinced he plays the second half. All right, guys, I'm going to stay on for one more minute, and then I'm going to get out of here. Yeah, I saw Vooch still. Doesn't he have like 20 fancy points or something at half? Does PJ Washington play in third and fourth? I think so. They said like high 20s minutes, so I would assume he does. He's played 12 minutes so far. Jacobs and Eckler, both touchdowns. Yeah, I mean, I think that's possible. Yeah, I know. Getting a lot of NBA questions in the chat. I have faith in Allen. Yeah, Keenan Allen, again, the ownership will be low. There's still a chance he just plays like normal snaps. And in that case, he can absolutely crush. Get the stream to 100 likes. Yeah, we're at 78 likes, guys. Can we get to 100? I'll stay on for a couple more minutes, and then I'm going to get out of here. Jacobs and Booker in the same lineup. It's going to be contrarian, but it's not out of the question because Booker is so cheap that you don't need a ton for him to pay out the salary. And Jacobs obviously will be their early down back. Badgley or Guyton. I think I like Guyton a little bit better there. I think I like the upside in him a little bit better, I should say. Captain Eckler, Allen, Herbert, Zay Jones, Renfro, and Henry, I think that's fine. Thoughts on DK DFS making great content? Appreciate that, man. Thank you. Do we need both quarterbacks? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. I prefer Herbert if you can make me pick. I think they're safe options, but not must plays. I want to get NBA. Seems like you got to follow a lot more than NFL. NBA's definitely been a little bit more popular as far as the streams go. What's up, DK? What's up, guys? How's it going, man? Thanks for checking out the stream. You think Guyton over 27? No, I wouldn't say a lock because there's question marks on Allen and Williams. How much do they play? They could just play normal snaps. Johnson or Guyton? Guyton for the price. NBA is much easier to make money in payment. Yeah, exactly. That's I do prefer NBA because it's the most predictable sport. NFL, it's not super high variance, but the touchdowns they swing a lot. Thanks for everything. You're the best, man. Appreciate that. Thank you. False alarm. They took Lonnie out for like 20 seconds. There's no random 80-yard touchdowns. Exactly. Like touchdowns do swing slates on NFL. Appreciate you all. Appreciate you. That's all. Thank you for the comment, man. And thanks for the support. That's why I just don't have the time to follow closely. That's the thing. Like with NBA, it's not like the NFL. You can set your lineup and then just go do whatever. NBA, like you gotta be on your phone all night, man, and you gotta be checking news. So it's not for the faint of heart. Like NBA is a grind. All I gotta do is watch a stream. All right, I'll stay live until lock. Why not? Let me know if you guys have any other questions. I tried NBA, but I just don't know all the preseason boys, so I'm gonna wait until the regs. That's fair. That is fair. Preseason, there is obviously more variance. Oh, man, the Spurs game, that's ugly. Whew. All right, guys, 2 minutes until lock. What happened with Lonnie? I'm not sure. Did he get subbed out? Let's see. I think he's back in. Yeah, he's back in. Spurs game is ugly, though. 5 points in the first 6 minutes. No, you had to be on your phone all night and just wait for notifications. That's why we appreciate you. Thank you. Yep. We got 200 in the stream and only 96 likes. Come on now, people. Let's get 5 more, guys, if we can. Curry or Fox? It's Fox for me, for sure, just because I'm more confident of the minutes. I think Steph only plays like 15 in this one. So can Steph outscore Fox? Can 15 minutes of Steph be better than 28 minutes of Fox? Yes, but Fox is safer. 1 minute until lock, guys. NFL, let's do it. Faded Eckler. It's risky. Again, that's where I'm going at captain, but there's ways where he doesn't get you there. 100 likes. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that so much. I'll tell you what, though, I am excited to go watch these games, both NBA and NFL. I think we got some good NBA games coming up. I think NFL, this game should be pretty good. Scary Terry and Devontae are going off. Hopefully they don't play much in the second half, or they might break the slate. Yeah, but honestly, it doesn't really matter for me. Like for high dollar, no one played Rozier or Devontae Graham, so it doesn't really affect me. Now for like the huge tournament, yeah, like you're probably going to need one of those guys. And good luck, Al. Thank you. Let's see. I'm super curious on the ownership and Allen Williams. I am too. That's why I'll stay on for ownership. It is now locked, so we will go over ownership. It takes a couple of minutes to get in. You're the man. Thanks for all the work. Appreciate that, man. Faded Herbert took Allen. Yeah, that's one way to get a little bit different. Let's see. Good luck, everyone. Yeah, good luck, guys. Again, I'm going to stay on to go over some ownership, and then I'm going to get out of here. But still more content coming for you guys. We have an NBA slate tomorrow. We have 8 games. I'll have a video up later tonight. I can't wait to say Luka play. Yeah, I'm really excited for that game as well. I have a lot of pieces for that one. Just hoping Griffin picks it up. I hope so as well for you. He was decently popular. Cody Martin needed like 20 plays, LOL. The reason I didn't like him is he's a low usage guy. Good luck, all. Thanks for the 2 streams tonight, DK. Of course. Thanks for coming and checking out the stream. Please play for Fournier. What's he doing? Is he not doing a lot? I'd never play Fournier. Like Fournier, Andrew Wiggins, like those are 2 guys I just never play. I hate guys that are relying on the scoring because they just have a really low floor when the shot's not falling. Do you like CSGO? Yeah, for like DFS, I play CSGO DFS every day. It's a little, there's obviously a lot of variance involved with it, but it's fun. All right, let's go over ownership. Let me go to the 500K to first tourney. And we have Eckler 64%. This is my lineup. Eckler 64, Herbert 68, Derek Carr 65, Waller 60, Guyton 25, Brian Edwards 15% owned. Your voice is soothing, DK. Hey, thank you, man. That's a nice compliment. Can't wait for SJ to play. Yeah, exactly. I'll be so mad if he plays only 18 minutes again. Vucevic playing in third. Yeah, he should play the fourth, too. Can't wait to see us go. Bacon, a bad play for NBA tonight. Yeah, I wasn't on Bacon. All right. Other ownership, I'm just going to look at other people's lineups here. Ty Johnson, 26%. Renfro, 32%. Raiders D at 5%. I despise Peach watching right now. Yeah, feel for you. Aguilar, 39%. Foster Moreau, 2%. Carlson, 15%. Morant, only 10% in the big tourney. Yeah, that's my stand. I played Ja. We'll see how it goes. Jacobs at 44%. Balaj at 16%. Again, kind of like that ownership there in Balaj. Allen only 22%. Yeah, that's low owned. Keenan Allen. Hey, like he could still crush. Allen super low. Man, I probably should have played Keenan Allen. 3% captain. Yeah, that's nice. That ownership is nice on Keenan Allen. Chargers D 4%. Zay Jones only 6%. I think that's decent as well. But guys, I'm exhausted. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna go eat some food and watch these games. I appreciate all you guys coming to check out NBA as well as this NFL live stream. Again, I'll have a video up for NBA later tonight. So thanks again. Hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you all later.